What if I told you that for the last 3, 5, or even 10 years, you've been climbing the wrong mountain? You've been putting in the hours, filling notebooks, and collecting apps, but when a native speaker talks to you at full speed, your mind just freezes. You nod, you smile, you say, yes, yes, very good, but inside, you feel completely lost, like a tourist without a map. That feeling of being stuck, of your real-life English not matching the English in your head, is one of the most frustrating experiences a learner can have. It can lead to self-doubt and make you question if you're even capable of becoming fluent. If that sounds familiar, I want you to take a deep breath and listen closely. You are not alone, and it is not your fault. Today, we're going to uncover the 10 most common mistakes that make learning English so much harder than it needs to be. These are the hidden traps that millions of learners fall into, the very things that sap your confidence and slow your progress. I promise you, by the end of this video, you will have a new map for your English journey. A map that leads to real, confident communication. Are you ready to change the way you learn forever? Stay with me. Hello, and welcome back to English Journey. My name is Celine, and this is the place where we help you grow personally while you master English. Our mission is simple: to help you improve your English and change your life. That's why we release new videos every single day, packed with tips, stories, and motivation to keep you moving forward on your path. Before we dive in, if you are serious about becoming a confident English speaker, do me a quick favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It tells YouTube that we're doing a good job and helps other learners just like you find us. Today, I'm going to share the story of a learner named Alex. His journey is filled with the top 10 mistakes we all make. By understanding his story, you'll learn exactly what to avoid. And stick around until the end, because I've prepared a short quiz to help you remember these powerful lessons. You won't want to miss it. Now, let's begin. The learner who made every mistake, so you don't have to. I want you to meet Alex. When Alex decided to get serious about English, he did what he thought was right. He jumped headfirst into what he believed were the most productive methods. But soon, he found himself frustrated, overwhelmed, and stuck. Let's walk through his journey and the 10 mistakes he made along the way. Mistake number 1, memorizing isolated vocabulary. Alex's desk was covered in neat stacks of flashcards. He spent hours writing down endless word lists, trying to memorize 50 new words every single day. He felt productive, watching his vocabulary list grow so fast. But when he actually tried to speak, the words wouldn't connect. He'd say something awkward like, "I like swimming because muscles, water, happy." He learned the hard way that our brains don't store words one by one like items in a warehouse. When you memorize isolated words, it leads to 2 big problems. 1, you forget them quickly. 2, even if you remember them, you often use them wrong. The fix is to learn words in context. Research even suggests that we retain words better when we encounter them in different contexts, rather than drilling a list. This creates a natural, random repetition system through the content you enjoy. For example, instead of just memorizing ambitious, find it in a sentence. She has an ambitious plan. Then, create a tiny, personal story. My friend has an ambitious goal to become a doctor, so she studies every night. Now the word is connected to an emotion and an image, which makes it stick. Mistake number 2, the grammar obsession. Alex also believed he had to master every grammar rule before he could speak. He bought thick grammar books and obsessed over the 12 English tenses, trying to memorize every exception and technicality. He even tried to memorize confusing sentences like, "If I had, I would have had, which just left him feeling discouraged. This focus on grammar killed his confidence. He would get stuck thinking about the perfect sentence instead of actually speaking. This turns communication into a stressful performance where you're just trying to show off what you know, rather than having a genuine conversation. Overloading on grammar feels like learning robot language, not human communication. The solution is to learn grammar through patterns that people actually use. In fact, just 20% of common sentence patterns cover about 80% of everyday conversations. Focus on communicating your message first and polish the grammar later. Mistake number 3, having unrealistic expectations. After a few months, Alex became very frustrated. He expected to learn the language quickly, a belief often encouraged by systems that promise rapid success. This is a major reason people think they can't learn. Their expectations are unrealistic from the start. He was also constantly upset with himself for forgetting things. He'd learn a word one day and not recognize it the next, which he found incredibly discouraging. This is a huge mistake. First, learning a language takes time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The Cambridge English website estimates it takes around 200 hours of guided study just to move up one level, like from B1 to B2. Second, forgetting is a completely normal part of the learning process. We learn and we forget, and that is how we eventually get better. The expectation that you should remember everything you learn leads to frustration and kills your motivation. Mistake number 4, the perfectionism trap. Alex was also a perfectionist. He tried to master the basics perfectly before moving on, believing this was the foundation for everything. He was also terrified of making mistakes when he spoke. This is a trap that saps your confidence. I think of it like my golf game. I'm a very poor golfer, and I learned from the sports psychologist Dr. Bob Rotella that the more I try to have a perfect swing by remembering all the little rules, the worse I play. But if I just relax and swing with confidence, I do better. Language is the same. It's impossible to master the basics early on. You will continue to make mistakes with them for a very long time. Part of this trap is also trying to get a perfect, native-like pronunciation. This is a futile task because even native speakers have vastly different accents. The goal should be clear communication, not a perfect accent. A slight accent can even add charm and class to the way you speak. Remember, however well you speak is good enough, and you probably speak better than you think you do. Mistake number 5, relying only on textbook English. Alex was a great student of his textbook. He could say, "Hello, my name is Robert. I am going to the supermarket to purchase groceries." But he soon realized that real people don't talk like that. One learner even said that when he tried to speak proper textbook English, the native speaker looked at him like he'd just landed from Mars. Real, spoken English is fast, messy, and full of slang, idioms, and shortcuts. When he only learned from his book, he sounded overly formal and robotic, and he couldn't understand native speakers in real conversations. Textbooks can teach you the little things, like intonation, jokes, and sarcasm. A study from the University of Helsinki found that students who exposed themselves to real English content for about 5 hours a week improved their skills by 67% in just 6 months. Mistake number 6, staying in your comfort zone. It felt good for Alex to use easy materials where he could understand everything. Many learners stay with easy, comfortable content for too long because it's satisfying. This is a big mistake. Easy materials are a stepping stone, but you have to push yourself into more challenging and interesting content to grow. This is how you acquire the less frequent but essential vocabulary needed for meaningful conversations. Many people believe in the Pareto principle or 80-20 rule, thinking they can get by with just the most common words. This is a fallacy. Word frequency declines very quickly after the first 1,000 words, so you have to do a lot of reading and listening to build a large vocabulary. This comfort zone can also include language apps. While apps can be great for quick practice, they often fail to improve real-world speaking skills when used alone. A study in the Language Learning and Technology Journal backed this up, and another report showed that students who only used apps scored significantly lower on speaking tests than those who practiced with real people. Mistake number 7, studying too much, practicing too little. Like many students, Alex spent most of his time studying. He read books and learned grammar rules. This is all passive study. He wasn't practicing enough, which means actively speaking and writing. I made this same mistake myself. I studied French for 10 years in school, and when I was 18, I couldn't speak it, which is ridiculous. Alex was repeating the same mistake with English. The lesson is to practice as you study. In order to speak well, you have to speak a lot. If you only speak with a tutor once or twice a week, you cannot expect your speaking to improve quickly. Sometimes, learners practice only with other non-native speakers. While this can be good, it often involves a limited vocabulary range and can become a performance competition rather than genuine communication. You must eventually find opportunities to speak with native speakers who will challenge you. Mistake number 8. Lacking a clear and motivating plan. For a while, English wasn't a real priority for Alex, so other things always came up. He learned that when you say, "I don't have time," what you're really saying is, "I choose not to do this." I experienced this when I tried to learn Italian. I lived in Italy for 2 months and picked some up, but when I returned home, I got busy and wasn't focused, so I stopped making progress. To succeed, you have to be focused and make learning a priority. This focus comes from having a clear plan. Alex's goal was just to be fluent, which is too big and vague. A much better goal is specific and realistic. For example, when I decided to learn Chinese, I broke my big goal down into yearly steps. First year, communicate with family. Second year, handle daily conversations. Third year, be able to work in Chinese. For that first year, I went to class for an hour and a half every single morning before work for 8 months. That is what a clear, prioritized plan looks like. You also need to feed your motivation by reminding yourself why you are learning English. Is it for a better job, to travel, or to connect with family? That why is the fuel that will keep you going when things get tough. Mistake number 9, ignoring the power of review. Alex would study for hours, but then wonder why he couldn't remember anything a week later. He wasn't reviewing his work. A German researcher named Hermann Ebbinghaus discovered the forgetting curve, which shows that if you don't review, you can forget up to 70% of what you've studied within just 24 hours. It is essential to review. Most modern apps are built on spaced repetition theory, which is very effective. A simple method you can use is to review your notes after a class and then a day or 2 later, recycle the language by listening to a podcast or watching a movie on the same topic. You're not formally studying, you're just enjoying content and letting your brain see the words again in a new context. Mistake number 10, forgetting to give yourself credit. Finally, Alex learned to be kinder to himself. In the past, after a conversation, he would only think about the shots he missed, the words he forgot, and the mistakes he made. This made him feel genuinely unhappy and unmotivated. Like my golf game, if I only think about my bad shots, I come away from the game miserable. It's crucial to give yourself credit for what you can do. We shouldn't be disappointed when we forget or don't understand. Instead, we should pick out the things we are able to do. For example, I have to consciously remember the time I had a lengthy conversation in Farsi when buying kitchen appliances. It wasn't perfect, but it was a real success that I can draw confidence from. When you feel happy with what you were able to achieve, you become more confident and more likely to continue. Recap and takeaways. Alex's journey teaches us that real progress isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about making a few key shifts in your approach. 1. Shift from memorization to context. Stop memorizing lonely words. Start learning them in lively families of phrases, chunks, and stories. 2. Shift from perfection to communication. Stop fearing mistakes and chasing a perfect accent. Start speaking to connect with people. 3. Shift from passive study to active practice. Stop just reading about the language. Start actively using it by speaking and writing every day. 4. Shift from vague hopes to a clear, motivating plan. Stop drifting without a map. Find your why, set small goals, review your progress, and celebrate every single step you take. If this story resonated with you, and if you're ready to apply these lessons to your own life, please hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss our daily videos. Your journey to fluency is important, and we want to be there with you every step of the way. Quiz time. All right, now it's time to test what you've learned. I have 5 questions for you based on our top 10 mistakes. Think about the answer and then write your answers in the comments below. I'd love to see what you've learned. Question 1. Instead of memorizing single words, what is a more effective way to learn vocabulary? Question 2. What is the perfectionism trap, and why is it a mistake in language learning? Question 3. What is the difference between studying English and practicing English? Question 4. Why is a vague goal like, I want to be fluent, not very helpful? Question 5. Why is it important to give yourself credit for your small successes? Take a moment to post your answers in the comments. There are no wrong answers, only opportunities to learn and grow. I'm excited to read what you share. Conclusion. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. Remember, the mistakes we talked about are not failures. They are signposts pointing you in a better direction. You are not Alex anymore. You have the map. You have the tools. Learning a language is a profound act of personal growth. It will challenge you, but it will also reward you in ways you can't yet imagine. Real progress happens when you connect English to your real life, your real emotions, and your real conversations. Believe in your ability to grow. You don't have to waste years learning the hard way. You're smarter than that. Every master was once a beginner who got frustrated but never gave up. Your journey is unique, and you are capable of amazing things. Thank you for being a part of our English Journey community. Keep learning smart, keep dreaming big, and know that we are cheering for you every single day. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.